Washington. The prospect Israeli forces launching an assault on dense urban neighborhoods of Gaza, where militants are using civilians as human shields, evokes painful memories the U.S.-led coalition's deadly wars against the Islamic State group in Iraq and Syria. For U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, his military leaders, this intense conflict, the thousands of civilians killed, airstrikes, gunfights in neighborhoods Mosul Raqqa, are lessons to be shared as Israel prepares for a possible ground invasion against Hamas. As we've made clear in our discussions with the Israelis, we continue to emphasize the importance of reducing civilian casualties and ensuring that things like security corridors are thoroughly considered, said Brig. Pentagon spokesman Gen. Pat Ryder said Tuesday. It can paint a vivid picture of U.S. civilian carnage during the 8-month siege to liberate Mosul from Islamist rebels. Some 10,000 people were killed between October 2016 and the fall of ISIS in July 2017, including at least 3,200 from airstrikes, artillery fire or mortars. Approximately the same number of civilians were killed or taken hostage by militants and used as human shields as they fled the city. Brown, Gen. Eric Kurilla, head of U.S. Central Command, and other top military commanders all spent time in region at the time and watched violence unfold. They were acutely aware of efforts to establish humanitarian corridors and decisions to cease operations while civilians were warned stay away. As they speak almost daily with their Israeli counterparts, they share advice about the challenges of urban warfare, booby traps, roadside threats, and efforts to protect innocents while rooting out insurgents hiding in schools, mosques, and houses. We're sharing our 20 years of lessons learned up and down the chain, said Navy Capt. Jereal Dorsey, Brown's spokesman. Underscoring this priority, the United States sent a team of military advisors to Israel, including Marine Corps Lt. Gen. James Glynn, who led Special Operations Forces against the Islamic State group. Glynn, who also served some of hottest urban fighting in Fallujah at height of Iraq War, will be able to advise Israelis on how to reduce civilian casualties. Urban warfare. These officials, including Gen. Glynn, have experience with urban conflict, Ryder told reporters Tuesday. They are there temporarily, along with their military expertise, and discuss some difficult questions that the IDF must consider when planning for various scenarios. During meetings with Israeli defense and government leaders in Tel Aviv last week, Austin recalled his experiences heading U.S. Central Command during first 2 years of the campaign to defeat Islamic State group. Officials familiar with conversations said he talked about lessons learned, including the realization that world was watching. Austin has been outspoken both publicly and privately about need for the Israelis to take safety of civilians into account when planning